The Making of a Scientist. About the author. Robert W. Peterson was an American newspaper writer who later became a freelance author of magazine articles and books, especially on the topics of sports and scouting. A former Scout of the Year, Richard H. Ebright, at the age of 22, along with his college roommate, explained the theory that how cells work in an article in Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. The age at which college students like to excel in the field of sports, Richard Ebright succeeded to publish his article in most coveted science journal, and it all started with the research on butterflies. Ebright was the only child in his family. Richard Ebright grew up in the north of Reading, Pennsylvania. Unlike other children, from his childhood, he wasn't interested in any sports activities rather than in collecting things. In kindergarten, he had a good collection of butterflies. In addition, he also collected rocks, fossils, and coins and took interest in stargazing at night. When Richard was in 3rd grade, his father died. His mother was his only sole companion until he started going to school. His mother encouraged and supported him to pursue his interest. She often took him on trips, bought him telescope, microscope, cameras, mounting materials, etc., required to enhance his learning skills. Richard's mother spent most of her free time with her son and kept him engaged in things of his interest, as Richie had a great curiosity in learning something new. By the time he was in 2nd grade, Ebright had a collection of 25 species of butterflies which were found around his hometown. Seeing her son's interest, his mother bought him a book called The Travels of Monarch X. The book that told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America opened a new world of science to the eager young collector. At the end of the book, readers were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. Richard knew that the butterfly collecting season lasts 6 weeks in the late summer, and it was the tedious job of tagging the butterflies. Therefore, he made his basement a home for thousands of monarchs in different stages of development. He used to catch a female monarch, take her eggs, and raise them in the basement through their life cycle, from egg to caterpillar to pupa to adult butterfly. But soon he lost interest in tagging because he didn't get much feedback on his work. Ebright remembers that only 2 butterflies he had tagged were recaptured, and eventually he gave up this project. In the 7th grade, he participated in the county science fair where he displayed slides of frog tissues, which he showed under a microscope. He didn't get any recognition for his work, and then he realized that winners had done real experiments other than to display. The competitive spirit to win helped Richard Ebright to find the cause of viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars every few years, and this time he won the county science fair for his 8th grade project. The next year, his science fair project was testing the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. The reason of copying monarch was to save themselves from becoming dinner of the birds. Nevertheless, monarchs didn't taste good. Still, a bird, starling, never ate ordinary bird food. Instead, it would eat all the monarchs it could get. The project was placed first in the zoology division and third overall in county science fair. In his second year in high school, Ebright's research led him to discover an unknown insect hormone, leading to his new theory on the life of cells. In his research, the question he tried to answer was, what is the purpose of the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa? To find the answer, Richard and another excellent science student proved that the spots were not just ornamental but have a role in producing a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. This project won Richard Ebright first place in County Fair and entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. There he won third place for the zoology and a chance to work at the entomology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. As a high school junior, he continued his advanced research on monarch pupa and won first place at the International Science Fair. In his senior year, he grew cells from monarch's wing in a culture and proved that the cells would divide and develop into normal butterfly wings if they were fed the hormones from the gold spot. This project won first place for zoology at the International Fair. He did his further research on this project at the Army Laboratory and at the US Department of Agriculture. After the freshman year at Harvard University, he continued his research work on the hormone of gold spots and was able to identify the hormone's chemical structure. While working on this project, half a year later, he discovered, while looking at the X-ray photos of the chemical structure of a hormone, that how the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. It determines the form and function of a cell. Thus, DNA is a blueprint of life. Ebright and his college roommate James R. Wong worked on this project and later they wrote the paper that explained the theory. Richard graduated from Harvard with highest honors and became a graduate student researcher at the Harvard Medical School, where he did experiments to test his theory. If his theory succeeds, it would be a big step towards understanding the processes of life. Maybe it could lead to new ideas for preventing cancer and other diseases. In his high school days, Richard A. Wehrer, his social studies teacher, admired Ebright's scientific curiosity and his competitive nature. He said that Ebright's dedication for work was not for winning a prize, but it was to give an extra effort and to do the best job for right reasons. Apart from these achievements in scientific field, Ebright was also a champion debater, public speaker, a good canoeist, expert photographer, particularly of nature and scientific exhibits. In the end, we can say Richard Ebright's curiosity, hard work, dedication, and strong determination led him on the path of success in the field of science and research. Moral: dedication towards your dream turns it into reality.